There we go. Thank you for being allowed to present here and to greet everybody. Looking into the audience, there's a bit of the morning after the night before, and I would like to thank Canaccord for a lovely evening last night. We're here to present fairly quickly. We'd like to let everybody know what we're up to. We're uniquely positioned for the energy transition. We've got a fairly major lithium project over in Argentina, and we have graphite in Queensland, Australia. We listed in May last year at 20 cents, and if you have a look at the way that we're moving forward, it's a fairly steady progression, and we're currently trading in and around the high 115 to 120 sort of range. As I mentioned before, we have two principal project commodities, lithium and graphite. They're obviously very important ingredients in the lithium-ion batteries, and then I'll give a little bit of a summary of where we're at, starting off with the lithium. We're currently drilling our first hole in the project. It's going extremely well. We've announced, I think yesterday, that we'd actually gone through the upper aquifer of two aquifers that we're targeting, and there's a 173 metre intersection there. So we're quite excited about that. The project's actually located probably in one of the best addresses in the world for brine lithium. It's in the lithium triangle. We have extremely good neighbours in the likes of Lithium Americas and Allchem. We're snuggled up against the boundary of the Allchem leases, and we're only 15 kilometres from their production facilities. So, the address is right. We're drilling our first drill hole. We're hitting the aquifers that we were hoping for, and we're just starting to get some assays back which are highly encouraging from the top of the first aquifer. So as you can see here, I'm not too sure if we've got the first part of the hole. One of the problems that we have in this project is that there's a fresh water and a brine. So the fresh water, we have an obligation to keep separated such that brines don't get mixed up with the fresh water. So we actually cement when we're drilling the top part all the way down through there, and then we start diamond coring from beneath that transition all the way down. So, how do we know where that intersection is? We've done a lot of geophysics prior to drilling our first hole, and at this stage, the transition zone we're able to pick up extremely well. So, we can transition through, cement off, and then start drilling the lithologies that we're after, which in this case are predominantly sandstones, and the sandstones are highly porous, and they're the sort of things that make production fairly easy, because you don't have to have as many boreholes down to actually extract the volumes of fluid that you need to extract out. So we'll just go down through here. The sandstones pretty much start from there. We go all the way down through here until we come to a seal. That distance there is 173 metres. So it's predominantly sandstone, and we call it our upper aquifer. There's a seal, a mudstone seal, which is in through here, and that essentially separates the top aquifer from our main target, which is down here, which is another porous sandstone. And then we're expecting basement round about this depth down here, round about the 380 to 400 metres. But if we keep coming across sandstones, then we'll keep drilling until we come into basement. But it's going to be in that sort of order based on the work that we've done with the geophysics. The assays that we've had so far that have come back are really from this top portion up through here. We had some leakage round about the top with some of the fresh water, which we've now cemented off. And the assays are in this part through here, and they're about 400 ppm, which is a good start considering that that's at the top of the sequence. As we get the results back from further down through here and down through here, we expect that they will probably increase. So the first hole that we're currently drilling is really part of a 10-hole program. It's probably a minimum of 10 holes. If we get enough joy and excitement, then we'll probably increase the number of holes that we're drilling. And these holes the first one is located just here, and then the others will be more up in this sort of area, up in through here. The idea is, as a first pass, to get an idea of the overall size of what we're looking at, and I think get an overall size. You look down here at the scale, so we're looking at a very large area, anything up to about 25 kilometres from one end of the project area to the other. The drill holes will be nominally about 5 kilometres apart, so again, very, very broad spacing. But we're trying to find out what the overall scope of the project is in the initial first pass. The exploration target that we have is between 1.5 to 8.7 million tonnes of lithium carbonate, and we've got some grade ranges there, which are grade ranges which have been developed from the other exploration companies and mining companies that are within the same salar. So our grades will end up being of similar to the level. Exactly what level it is, we don't know yet. We're still drilling. Our principal target is this zone down here, which is our deep sand unit, and then we've got the upper target, which is initially thought to be mostly muds with interbedded sandstones. In the location where we're drilling, there's an awful lot of sandstone there, so that actually bodes well for the size of the aquifer. It's a little bit thicker than what we were originally interpreting as well, so that's a bit of a bonus as well. This is where we're at in the current drill hole. We're near the edge of the salar. There's a boundary fault that comes up through here, and we're down at this level now. So we're getting close to the bottom, and we're still in the right sort of rock, so that's quite promising. We're then going to head up to this neck of the woods over here, and here the brines are interpreted to be quite a bit deeper, but also quite a bit thicker. So, the big targets are up in this neck of the woods. So, we're looking forward to getting onto drilling those. We're trying to scout down some extra drill rigs so we can actually speed up the process and have a number of drill holes on the go at once, because they seem to be taking a little bit longer than we anticipated, and that's predominantly due to the drilling conditions, which we're having a lot more sandstones than what we originally were expecting, which is a good problem to have. The next steps is to try and fast track. We're obviously trying to get another drill rig for the 15 or the 5,000 metre drill program, and the aim is to come up with a maiden JORC resource. The geophysics has pretty much been completed. We've got a model, and we're working on putting that together and updating it with the drill results as we go. So these are some of the people on the team. That's William, he's currently over there, and some other people of the team. So that's Paola, and that's Esteban. So we also give conferences in country, and this is the drill rig in the afternoon. So we keep a fairly clean site, and we like to make sure that as best we can we're operating to Australian sort of safety standards. The other project that we have is a graphite project. It already has an inferred resource on it. It's a highly high grade, I guess, graphite deposit. It has a JORC resource of 6.3 million tonnes at 16% total graphite. It's got a higher grade portion, and we're looking at doing some more drilling before Christmas, which we'll be able to focus more on that higher grade zone, which is over 20%. So as you can see from the section here, it's relatively well behaved, it's near surface, and it's wide. So, and the grades are quite strong. It's got a combination of flake sizes from fine to large and to extra large. And we've been working through the various processing options. And at this stage, the work that we're looking at is putting it fairly square in the middle of the battery market. So, you know, the best processing options is looking like the graphite market, and we've had CSIRO doing a lot of work for us over the last year and a half. So there'll be some more news coming on that in due course as we try and get a drill rig on the ground before Christmas. As I mentioned, you know, there's been a fair bit of work done with this, and we're looking at the possibility of having a PSG. PSG is purified spherical graphite. It's essentially the format that the battery manufacturers like to actually have their batteries in, or the graphite for their batteries in, and then they put their special coatings. It's sort of like the KFC, you know, special spices. They all have different combinations of technology which they don't tell anybody about, but in essence they coat over the PSG products, and we're looking at the option of having a PSG plant relatively local to the project, whether that is in Townsville or whether that's in Mount Isa or Cloncurry. We're going to do some studies, and we'll find out from those studies where the best place is. The other project that we have there, which we have yet to drill, is the Corella Graphite Project. These are some results from an EM survey that we did, you know, and essentially the more conductive the material is essentially where the graphite is. So the graphite is quite conductive, and it's a very good proxy. So the near surface, we're getting quite a scattering of graphite content, but the real location where the thickness is of the graphite is actually where these colourful zones are. So essentially the red blobs, and we'll be going in there and drilling those hopefully in the near future. Excellent. So the board that we have is quite a varied board. We've got the chairman, which is William. He's very much a hands-on guy. As I said, he's currently over in Argentina. We have Farouk Khan, who's presently here today with a legal background. We've got myself, exploration background. We have a company secretary and Victor, and to assist us over in Argentina, specifically with the brines, we have a technical consultant called Murray Brooker, and Murray's highly experienced hydrologist with 31 years in the industry, and he's compiled a number of JORC compliant and Canadian compliant resources specifically on brines. So we're very happy to have him working with us, and his knowledge is very much appreciated as we go forward. In summary, Lithium is well positioned to take advantage of the forecast global growth and demand for key battery minerals in lithium and graphite. We believe that we have a fairly strong technical team, and we'll be expanding on that in the near future. So if you have any questions, I know I'm just about to be shooed off, so come and see us at the booth, and we've got some gifts there, including some llama gifts, as some little llamas. So if people want to find out what that is, that's good. Come along to the booth. In addition, we've got the prize that we're giving away, so we'll probably do a draw on that in the last end of the session. Okay.